Good afternoon, everyone. I am back again. It's November 12th, and it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm starting this ride at Douglas Park in North Cape May. You can see the 1 o'clock ferry departing, going out the canal. And I'll explain why I'm starting this ride here. It's really to follow up some of the comments on my last video around Halloween about ghosts, and one of the viewers, Old Yeller, was commenting on some experiences that she had, and she grew up in North Cape May. And I want to point out this rock jetty going out this canal here. This is the northern side of the canal. Across the canal, there's another rock jetty, the southern side. But, and in fact, I actually recorded a video at the end of this rock jetty. If anybody's interested, you can go back. I think it was like February 26th, 2021. And I walked out to the end of the jetty and recorded a very short video from the end of the jetty, looking back. But there is rumors that there are spirits that haunt this jetty. And if you care to look at the Facebook group of Craig McManus, he has a Facebook group called The Ghost of Cape May. And if you scroll down that group, you'll come to a post not too far down. Recorded it, or he posted it, I guess, this year, sometime around leading up to Halloween, looking at this rock jetty and saying that there are purportedly spirits that haunt this rock jetty. And if you're out on the jetty, you can feel their presence. Now, I personally didn't feel anything, but I'll explain why, for anyone that's interested, why he claims that this is, there are spirits here, and it may sort of be a nice response to Old Yeller's comments. So with that, let me get started here. So again, this is the rock jetty that goes out the canal, and this is the northern side of the canal. And you can also, if you're interested, refer back to a very old video I made when I started this channel up, probably about 11 years ago. One of my earliest videos talked about the history of North Cape May and its formation. And basically this community, North Cape May, and specifically Town Bank, which is right up the road here, was initially a town called Portsmouth. And Portsmouth was a whaling village that was formed sometime in the 1600s. In the late 17th century, I'm not sure exactly what the date was, but it was in the 1600s, well before America's independence. And it was a whaling community, and that's what got this community started. And over time, the presence of whales diminished, and the community lost its commercial activity, and sort of came to an end as a thriving community, and basically was abandoned. And in the years that followed, in the early 1700s, the sea came in, the Delaware Bay came in, and reclaimed a lot of the land that once was Portsmouth. And Portsmouth is said to be underwater about a half a mile out in the Delaware Bay off the current beach, the remnants of it. Anyway, the earliest cemetery down here in Cape May County was the old Portsmouth Cemetery, and when the community was sort of reclaimed by the sea, a lot of those coffins in that old Portsmouth cemetery were sort of churned up, and it was said that bodies were found and coffins were found up and down the coast here, over to and including Higbee Beach. And that's why they say there are spirits here, because they say that it was the spirits of the people that were buried in Old Portsmouth Cemetery. I'm going to go up this road until I get to Town Bank Road, which is where they believe the town of Portsmouth was located. It's a beautiful day down here today, if you can't tell on the video. It's about 68 degrees. You can see people are wearing short-sleeve shirts, guys jogging in shorts. It's sunny, very little wind. We had a pretty bad windstorm last night. It rained most of yesterday, but it's a beautiful day today. My wife and I are down until tomorrow. We've been down this week, and we are heading back up to Pennsylvania tomorrow, and we'll probably be up there all week. I have to take my granddaughter to gymnastics on Monday and Tuesday, and then this coming Friday I have a scheduled oral surgery to have my 2 bottom wisdom teeth extracted, which I think is a little unusual for a guy my age. I'm an old guy, and you don't see many old people getting their wisdom teeth out. My dentist has been telling me for 25, 30 years that I should get them out, but they never bothered me, so I never really did anything about it. But fairly recently, I started getting discomfort in my jaw. I went to the dentist, and he sent me to the oral surgeon, and they are impacted, so I need to have them taken out. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I'm half tempted to just ride it out and not get it done, but it gets to be an annoyance. It's not an acute pain like a toothache, but it's a sort of a gnawing, ever-present discomfort, to put it that way. Anyway, coming up here on Town Bank Road, and this is where the town of Portsmouth is said to have been, off the coast here, and this is where this was the site in this town of Portsmouth, is where the old Portsmouth Cemetery was located. And anyway, that's sort of the story as to why there are spirits said to haunt this particular area. I'm going to take a ride over to Cape May. Just because I have no place better to ride to right now. I should have come out earlier today, and I could have taken a ride over to Wildwood or something, but it's getting a little bit late in the day. My wife and I go to the 4 o'clock mass down here, so I have to get home and get ready for church. So I don't have a lot of time to be riding all over up into Wildwood. So we came down this week on Tuesday night after dropping my granddaughter off. Tuesday we voted in the morning up in Pennsylvania, and then took my granddaughter to the gym, and then drove down and got down here Tuesday night. It was a beautiful day Thursday, but it rained all day Friday down here. I was tempted to get out on the bike on Thursday, but just again wasn't feeling it. As of this time, the time that I'm recording this, the results of the election are still sort of up in the air. The results meaning the control of the House and control of the Senate. I think the only thing, there's a couple of things that I think can be definitively stated based on this election, and one would be polls are meaningless, and we should have learned that in 2016 when the polls all showed Hillary Clinton beating Donald Trump, and those polls were all proven wrong. And this year the polls were all indicating the so-called red wave or red tsunami, and that clearly has not come to pass. So I think it's a pretty safe conclusion to say that the only polls that count are the ones when voters actually go to cast their ballot. The other, I think, conclusion that can be drawn is that the country is still deeply divided. Not only is the control of the Congress still up in the air, but even if you look at some of the races that have been decided, with few exceptions, they're razor-thin margins. This is a Cape May winery. My wife and I went to that. I think I mentioned that on my video last week. They have an annual thing for Case Club members. I also would be remiss not to thank everybody that commented with condolences on the passing of my brother-in-law, my wife's younger brother. I think also, since my last video, if I'm not mistaken, I think the World Series has concluded, and the Astros, Houston Astros, defeated the Philadelphia Phillies 4-2, which, you know, is not a surprise. I mean, I think pretty much everybody felt the Astros were the better team. I was obviously pulling for the Phillies. They were the underdogs. You know, baseball's a streaky sport, so anything can happen once you get into a 7-game series, and I was hoping the Phils could pull it out. But I think the better team won, and it was still an exciting year. Phillies ended up winning the pennant for the National League, which is a successful year, and gives the team some confidence in themselves to come back next year, take another run at it. I have to remind myself and be mindful about the reduced speed limits in Cape May. It's a beautiful time of year down here. It's what is referred to as the shoulder season. Very autumnal. And we just entered into the city of Cape May. And there's a wedding party crossing the street, I guess, heading into Our Lady Star of the Sea. I think this street always looks like an alleyway to people. They don't realize that this is a legitimate thoroughfare. But these homes here are very private homes and right in the heart of Cape May. Easily walking to the beach and to the Washington Street Mall. Last Sunday, I went to, my granddaughter had a gymnastics competition up at Penn State. So we drove up, or I drove up from my home in Horsham. I left there on Sunday morning, and it was about a 3.5 hour drive. The competition was right across the street from Beaver Stadium up in State College, but because she didn't compete until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, decided not to get a hotel room and try to save a little money. So we drove up there Sunday morning, 3.5 hour ride. Then we were at the competition for about 4 to 5 hours, and then drove home 3.5 hours back. So it was a very, very long day. pretty good crowd here for the middle of November. But it is a beautiful day, so I guess it's not surprising. And I think what I'll do is end this video up at the Cove. And then I'll record another video of my ride back, as I always do. Well, I guess he's not leaving, so I'll just turn around and end this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll put another video of my ride back to North Cape May. Thanks a lot.